Hi, I'm Deanna Springer with a fun Stitch It Sisters Stitch It in Minutes project. Today I'm stitching our Christmas tree napkins. I'll be using 2 coordinating Christmas fabrics by Riley Blake Designs, Clover's Supersize 5-in-1 sliding gauge, poly yarn serger thread, denim jeans needles in a size 90, and my BERNINA Overlock Serger. The Christmas tree napkins are such a fast and fun serger project that you'll be making several in as little as an hour. 1 yard each of 2 coordinating fabrics makes 4 or more Christmas tree napkins. To make our Christmas tree napkins, we'll start by pressing and starching our fabrics. Prepare your fabrics for the serging process by heading to the ironing board, pre-shrinking the fabrics and steaming, and pressing and starching with Quilter's Starch Savvy. Next, we'll make a pattern. We'll streamline the cutting process for cutting multiple napkins by tracing an 18-inch circle on paper. We'll set the 5-in-1 sliding gauge at the 9-inch marking, because that's half of our circle, and we'll press our finger in the center of the circle and we'll trace. We'll trace all the way around and create that paper pattern. I've already cut my pattern out. And then I take the pattern and I cut out circles. I cut out circles of fabrics. And I'm making Christmas tree napkins, so I've chose Christmas fabrics, 2 coordinating fabrics, a green and a red on opposite sides. Place fabric wrong sides together. And I've pinned all the way around the outside of the circle. And the pins are parallel to the cut edge so that for serging, it's easier to remove the pins rather than placing the pins the way we would usually place them for sewing on a sewing machine. We'll place them parallel to the cut edge. Next, I want to set up my Serger Overlock machine. I've set it for a 3-thread overlock stitch, just a standard 3-thread stitch. And follow your easy setup guide and make sure you've set your machine for your stitch. This also works with a rolled hem stitch, but I want to showcase 2 different thread colors. In the upper looper and lower looper, we put 2 different colors of threads. In the lower looper, I've inserted the poly yarn thread in red. In the upper looper, I've inserted the green. And poly yarn thread is an unspun thread and it fills in nicely. It fills in those stitches between the stitches. It fills in those open areas between the stitches. So I've set my machine for a 3-thread standard stitch. I've threaded the green in the upper looper and the red in the lower looper. The next step is to stitch. I'll bring my fabrics to the needle and I'll raise the presser foot and I'll start stitching right along the edge. And as I stitch, I'll trim off approximately an eighth of an inch of fabric. That will give us a nice crisp edge. So I'll begin stitching and I'll stitch all the way around. There, we've stitched all the way around our circle napkin. On the red side of the upper looper, it's green stitching, and on the lower looper, it's red stitching. It gives a nice contrasting thread color to the fabric. Now we do have a thread tail left over from serging, and all we do is take a double-eye needle. We insert a double-eye needle, and it's a needle without a point on the end, and it just has 2 eyes, and I simply thread that thread tail through the needle eye, and I pull. I thread that thread tail right into that seam and I cut. And once you pull that back into the seam, that thread tail is buried right within that seam. You could make Christmas tree napkins so quickly. You can make several in an hour, and from 2 fabrics, we have easily 4 dinner-sized napkins. But if you make cocktail napkins or brunch napkins, the circle just is a smaller cut size. And the Christmas tree napkins are easily folded into the Christmas tree shape. And we do that by folding about 1/3 of the top of the napkin to the back. We fold that third to the back. We're kind of working in thirds. And then we fold another third to the front. And then we fold the remaining third to the back. And you can fussy fold this in many different ways and get creative with it to dress your table. We folded it as a Christmas tree. We folded it as a roll. And we also can make circle napkins in fun spring colors. Dress up your table for the holidays or any day and find napkin sewing ideas and more at stitchitsisters.com. Just search napkins. We hope you've enjoyed the Stitch It Sisters project. You'll find this pattern along with a limited number of project bundle boxes at stitchitsisters.com.
Be sure to tune in again for another Stitch It Sisters sewing adventure.
In the meantime, connect with Stitch It Sisters and friends on our social sites. Stitch It Sisters is made possible by BERNINA, Clover, Riley Blake Designs, OESD, Oklahoma Embroidery Supply and Design, and shopnzp.com.
BERNINA, made to create.